Hey there everyone, welcome back to Press for Truth TV. Thanks for joining me once again on this Tuesday, July 3rd, 2012. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about this new 12-point Canada-U.S. privacy charter that was drafted up and announced just last week under the perimeter security deal, and how this is basically just opening up the floodgates and making it possible for the personal information of Canadians when entering or exiting the country to be shared with not only the American authorities, but also with just about any other government in the world. Here's an article just out from Huffington Post. Canada-U.S. border security deal puts personal info at risk, privacy watchdog. The perimeter security deal puts the personal information of Canadians at risk because in some cases it allows the United States to pass that data to other countries without permission, says the federal privacy watchdog. A newly published agreement on how information will be handled under the Canada-U.S. Security Pact means that personal details about Canadians could be sent to a country with a poor human rights record, said Chantal Bernier, Assistant Privacy Commissioner. The principle on sharing information included in a 12-point Canada-U.S. privacy charter made public Thursday, falls short of the standard recommended by the Federal Commission of Inquiry that examined the Maher Arar torture case, Bernier said in an interview. We were hoping for greater control for Canada on the personal information it holds. Bernier said the principles contain some fundamental building blocks of good privacy practice, including the right to see and verify the personal information that governments hold, the right to seek correction or redress, and safeguards to ensure data doesn't fall into the wrong hands. But she expressed concern that the privacy principles are non-binding. Considering that privacy is a fundamental human right, one would expect that a statement of privacy principles would be binding, she said. So the fact that it is not begs the question of the purpose of the statement. Canada and the U.S. promised that a charter of privacy principles would be part of the deal reached last year to help smooth the passage of travelers and cargo across the border while beefing up continental security. The most contentious element of the deal could be a plan to exchange entry information collected from all persons at the border, which would serve as a record of exit from the other country. The Privacy Charter's preamble says greater information sharing between Canada and the U.S. is vital to protecting security, and that domestic and international laws will apply to the management of personal information. The principles say Canada or the United States may transfer information received from the other to a third country. For instance, the U.S. could send information received from Canada to an overseas capital. However, it could do so only if American law permitted the exchange, and the transfer must be done in accordance with relevant international agreements and arrangements. In the absence of such international arrangements and agreements, the U.S. must inform Canada prior to the transfer or as soon as reasonably possible afterward in urgent circumstances. But Bernard worries that all Washington would have to do is tell Canada that it's passing along the information in such cases. Canada could not stop the U.S. from transferring personal information about a Canadian to a country with questionable human rights records, she said. A federal inquiry by Justice Dennis O'Connor into the Arar case made numerous recommendations in 2006 aimed at ensuring the proper handling and sharing of security information. Arar, a Syrian-born Canadian, was detained in New York in September 2002 and departed soon after by the U.S. authorities. This is a Canadian, remember. Winding up in a Damascus prison. Under torture, he gave false confessions to Syrian military intelligence officers about involvement with Al-Qaeda. O'Connor concluded that inaccurate information the RCMP passed to the United States very likely led to the Ottawa engineers' year-long nightmare. The judge said the RCMP and other agencies should attach caveats to information they share to ensure there are proper restrictions on its use by receiving parties. A subsequent inquiry headed by former Supreme Court Judge Frank Ikobachi into the imprisonment of 3 other Arab Canadian men during the same post-9/11 period found Canadian officials had a hand in the torture of Abdullah Al-Amaki, Ahmad El-Mati, and Moyed Nareddin in Syria through the sharing of information with foreign intelligence and police agencies. The new Canada-U.S. Privacy Charter keeps the door wide open to the kind of practices that led to the ordeals of these 4 men. So clearly, this is yet another perfect example of how Stephen Harper is not looking out for the best interest of Canadians by engaging in these security deals and so-called privacy right deals, but he's indeed selling out the privacy of individual Canadians to the global elite and the global New World Order agenda, essentially. And let's not forget, guys, that this is all made possible by the false flag known as 9/11. And that's why it is incredibly important to continue to raise awareness about some of the events that transpired on that day in order to shatter the narrative, the official story that we have been given about what happened that day. And a great way to do that, of course, is to burn copies of our latest DVD, the 9/11 Toronto hearings. If you go to the high quality download section, we have them all there in parts, and that's a great way to share the information, is to burn them onto disc, hand them out to your friends, family members, and total strangers, and just get the information out there as much as you can. Because again, a lot of these things that we're constantly seeing almost on a daily basis these days are generally a direct result of the false flag known as 9/11 that was clearly orchestrated by the global elite and was indeed an inside job and a false flag attack. So we got to continue to raise awareness about that, guys, and I just wanted to bring up to your attention this privacy deal that was announced just last week that opens up the floodgates to having Canadians' personal information shared with just about any government in the world. And as we've seen in these prior cases, this could lead to the wrongful imprisonment of innocent Canadians. So anyways, something I wanted to bring to your attention today. Now, on a totally unrelated note, I've been thinking lately I haven't done any interviews in a little while, and I would like to start doing some more interviews. So I wanted to throw it out there and see if you guys have any suggestions for people who you would like to see me interview here in the very near future at pressfortruth.tv. Earlier on in the beginning of the year, I interviewed a lot of people like Alex Jones and James Corbett, Paul Joseph Watson, who else? Sonia from the Truther Girls, Terry Wilson from Canadian Action, CanadianAwareness.org, a number of people. And any one of these people have expressed their, they've told me that if I ever want to get them on again, they'll be willing to come on again. So if there's anybody you would like to see me interview again, or if you have any suggestions of people who you think would be suitable to do an interview here with me at Press for Truth TV, please leave your suggestions in the comment sections of this post, and I'll definitely check them out and maybe start trying to contact some of those people so we could start doing some more good interviews here at pressfortruth.tv. And anyways, guys, that's it for today. Last but not leastly, I don't know if you can see my Press for Truth t-shirt. It's starting to get nice out there in the summer, so if you haven't got yours yet, I'll also put a link to the description where you can do that. On the back, let me see if I can show you. It says, we don't shoot bullets, we shoot frames. Pressfortruth.ca. So As the weather is getting hotter and hotter, it's a nice way to show your support for Press for Truth and just to get the word out there about what we're doing, and to do it in style by rocking a PFT t-shirt. So anyways, guys, that's it for today. I want to thank you once again for tuning in, and I'll see you all right back here tomorrow. Okay, take care.